I'm going to be going over something that I think needs to be addressed for a lot of those new photographers out there, and even some of the more established photographers if you just are finding yourself maybe in a little bit of a plateau. Here are the 5 things that I would do as a photographer if I was just starting out in 2025. Look, photography is difficult, and getting started is even harder. The market is saturated. There's just a ton of us out there. Everybody and their mom owns a camera. They're taking photos. Everybody has an iPhone. And not to mention the looming AI. That is a real threat to a lot of us photographers, but if you're not going to be utilizing it, you will get left behind. But that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm talking about if you are true to the camera, you want to take awesome photos, you want to work for sick-ass brands, then this video is for you. So number 1, this is a big one for me. It's saying yes to all sorts of opportunities. I know this sounds really obvious and it's like, duh, you say yes to the opportunity, but it's so easy for photographers, whether you're just starting out or more established, just to get kind of bogged down, or maybe it's not the right fit, maybe they're not paying you a high rate, or it just doesn't feel right in the sense of like, maybe I just don't shoot this kind of photography. Guess what? If you're in a plateau, if you're just starting out, say yes. Get your foot in the door. If they're not paying you the right rate, that rate comes later. Like, just build that book of business to show other brands that portfolio, to be able to use what they're giving you, the talent, maybe the product, the props, wardrobe, the location, all these things that if you were going to go do a spec shoot on your own, you would have to pay for out of your pocket. So think of it that way. It's a really good mindset to put yourself in when you're faced with an opportunity that may not be the right rate or the right style. This will help build your portfolio. It can get you a really good in with the brand that you're shooting with. So keep it in mind, say yes to those opportunities. Number 2, speaking of spec shoots, again, another obvious one, but I feel like a lot of photographers are resistant to put in free work. Now, spec shoots are my bread and butter. I still do them to this day, and I've been doing this for almost a decade. Being able to practice on your own spec shoots, maybe the stakes aren't as high as being on a real set or the brand is paying for it, but this is something personally for you. You have all the room to explore and then be able to, again, build that portfolio and then present it to the brand or maybe a different brand or something that makes them see, wow, I love what this person has done. Let's actually give them a budget. Let's move forward and work with them. Tailor your spec shoots to the brands you want to work with. A lot of us out there want to shoot with the Nikes, the Adidas, the Coca-Colas, the massive brands, but guess what? If you don't have a shoot or photos or videos or something that is related to what they do or looks like something they would do, chances are you're never going to work with them. And that is just the hard truth. So if you're able to do a spec shoot and make it look really good and polished and show them like, guess what? You can trust me with your budget, with your brand and the look and feel of it, and I understand it, you're way more likely to work with a brand like that. Number 3, experiment with new techniques or gear on every single shoot. Now, this is actually something that I did. I promise you, every single shoot that I had when I was first starting out, I did one thing different. I didn't do the same thing every single shoot. I was primarily shooting with streetwear brands and makeup. What I made sure that I did back then was, whether it was something small like a filter, maybe a camera technique, or a coloring style, I always tried something different on every single shoot. That way, I was teaching myself something new every single time. And that's how you're gonna be able to get better and progress a lot faster, because it's really easy to get complacent and sit there and go, well, I know this works, so I'm just gonna do it again. Well, you're not gonna learn anything new. You're not gonna challenge yourself. You're not gonna show brands what you're able to do. If you're just doing the same thing over and over again, it's gonna get stale for them, and I bet you it's gonna get stale for you, and you're gonna lose interest. So keep it interesting for yourself, make it cool, try something new, get experimental, but also, if you're gonna be doing this on a real shoot, make sure it's something you can manage. Challenge yourself. That's key. Number 4, invest in the lens, not the body. Don't invest a ton of your money and you're worried about the body of the camera. Invest in the glass. The glass is what you're gonna keep. The body of the camera is gonna change. It's gonna, they're gonna come out with the V2, V3, the Mach 17. There's always gonna be something new that's gonna come out. It's gonna pique your interest and it's gonna be a little bit more expensive. And then that last camera that you just spent so much time fussing about, being worried about all the different pixels and all that crap, it's not gonna matter anymore. In today's day and age, the cameras out there are all really good. You really can't make a bad decision because all the cameras in the same price range, in the consumer price range, really have a lot of the same specs. So don't worry about that too much, but look at the system, make sure that you're getting into the right camera system because the lenses will be tailored towards that system. Do pay attention to that, but don't worry as much of getting the brand new body that's top of the line. You're stretching your limits in terms of your budget. You're maxing out credit cards. You're like, I'm gonna buy that $4,500, $5,000 camera. Chances are there's gonna be something new that's gonna come out in the next couple years and you're gonna want a new one anyways. So get something that's really good for what you're shooting at that point. Put that extra dollar amount into really good lenses that are gonna last you. Invest in the lens, not the body. Number 5. Now, this one could get a little bit of backlash. Niche down. I used to always pride myself as being a very versatile shooter and being able to like do lifestyle, do product, do portrait, do events. I think you should still be able to do that. I think when those opportunities arise and it's an event, but you're a lifestyle photographer, or you're a portrait photographer, guess what? Work's fucking work. And we all need to make a living. And I get that. But if you want to become known in this industry and be able to start booking big ass jobs that I know you want, niching down to let the brands know that this is what I do and I'm really, really good at it, that's gonna book you the big jobs. If you're a jack of all trades, you'll get a lot of work because they need those people out there. They need somebody that shoots lifestyle and events and product and portraits. But if you're really trying to make a name for yourself and you wanna become known as this type of photographer, this type of videographer, niching down shows that you have focus and you're the right person for that job. So it's something to keep in mind. I would say take that with a grain of salt because if you're truly just starting out, you need to explore. You need to see what you like. If you like lifestyle, product, or whatever it might be. But if you're starting down that path and you got some experience under your belt, but you find yourself kind of maybe leaning towards one way or another, lean in. Lean in hard. If you want to start booking those huge jobs, show them why you're the right person for that very specific look. All right, that is my 5 absolute go-to tips right now if you're just starting out in photography in 2025. All right, thanks for hanging out with me today. And until next time, I'll see you.